All right, hello everybody. It's time for the Wrestling with the Willies podcast. It's me and Jeremy today. We're doing it a little bit different because we got first time using the podcast mic that I have. So mostly because technical issues throughout so far this one tonight. But what's it called? We're talking about Extreme Rules. Okay, so it's not that many matches on here. Man, shut up, Arrow. Jeez, you're gonna kill me if you're gonna bark throughout the whole thing. But what's it called? Um, so man, lost track. There wasn't a whole lot of matches on the card at all, really. But I mean, the it's funny how like I was talking about this before when we were watching the pay per view that it was kind of funny, like the differences between Vince McMahon WWE and Triple H in WWE, mostly because he introduced because this is like a few days, like a week afterwards from Extreme Rules, so we saw what happened on Raw and SmackDown, and so like other stuff happened, which we'll talk about later, and talking about it, but like so they've been having Triple H has been having a bunch of people show up again, like Johnny Gargano and Karrion Cross, which Karrion Cross is on this pay per view. Like, so it just like has a whole different match feel. It seems like, and the whole pay per view. I think it's probably one of the better ones of the year, just because, like, I don't know, the vibe of the whole pay per view, or well, premium live event. I'm so used to saying pay per view though. So
Well, again, I think I mentioned this before. Like every match on this card, there's been build up, or there was recently build up to every match on the card. So, like, I think two of them at least, at the Smackdown that I attended with my son, was basically the start of two of them, um, or the continuation of one of them and the start of one of them. And then Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins has been ongoing for a while with their
yeah,
storyline,
I think at least what, like 2 or 3 months. I think
something
because I
like
mean
that.
I don't think it started when they were doing the family thing. I think that's when it ramped up to the this match, and it's mostly because it's funny because like every match was like a freaking special rules match, which they did before. They did it previously. I think mostly why they did that was because TNA was doing like they did what's the name of the match? I forgot what it was called. It's like there was like a name of a pay-per-view that every match was a cage match. Can't remember the name of the pay-per-view though. But like they used to do it every time, and every single match was like a cage match essentially. And so like they had different rules in each match, but like it was a cool stipulation. So I'm wondering if that's where they got the inspiration from. But it's just funny because last year we were talking about how there was only like one or two Extreme Rules matches, and then this one had all of them were like Extreme Rules matches are away. Like the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium first was a good old fashioned Donnybrook match, which that just means like Extreme Rules match, pretty much, or like more like what was it? It's not even like really if it's anything, it's like an Extreme Rules match, like a fancy name for it because they didn't have like Falls Count Anywhere or like they were going into the crowd and stuff. They weren't doing a whole lot of like even it's not like a casket match. So it was pretty much like an Extreme Rules match. They just had like shillelaghs and stuff like that. And I like what they've been doing with Sheamus lately. Like, especially
Well,
he's over as fuck with the crowd right now.
well, yeah, I was just gonna say that it reminded me a lot of the first match I saw at SmackDown. Though the match itself wasn't much different than that one. So I mean, it was good to watch because the first one was good to watch too. So this one wasn't much different. Um,
Well, I think that the one that I saw or parts of on SmackDown was that they showed like it looked like Gunther was kind of tapping, but he wasn't. He tapped like twice and then he went for the ropes. So I wouldn't say that that was like counting, but
Well,
like
that
there
was
was,
the one. That was the Intercontinental match before the pay per view. I was
yeah.
referring to the one where the Brawling Brutes fought Imperium at SmackDown. The one that was in
Oh,
Seattle.
okay.
That was the
Oh,
first
okay.
one where they
So it's
all
just
fought each other. Yeah, but it was
uh,
pretty much the same match. There wasn't much different even in that match, even though it wasn't a Donnybrook match. They
yeah.
still did most of the same stuff.
And we were
There was a
talking
good
about,
time on the
oh,
match, though. I mean, this one being almost 18 minutes. I mean, when you've got a pay per view that's almost 3 hours, you got to have matches that are pretty long.
yeah, it's been and like what's it called? And it was just a good match anyway. And I like how Sheamus and Gunther wrestle, and like especially and it just works with them whole like going back and forth. I don't think that they could do it like that much longer though, without like Sheamus beating him at one point. Because I mean, if they keep doing it where Sheamus just keeps losing. But I mean, also at the same time, it looks like this might have been the end of the feud for right now because I think he's going against Rey Mysterio, right?
Yeah, the
For
next
the
match, well, as of because Rey Mysterio, just for anybody that doesn't know, one of the fallouts from the pay per view, as we talk about, Rey Mysterio is moving over to the SmackDown brand, and he's going to be facing uh, Gunther for the Intercontinental belt as he won a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental belt this week.
yeah. So what's it called? It was good. I mean, like there was like a few moves. Like I think when was it Sheamus that got hit with the freaking shillelagh, and like they gave him
Somebody,
a
well,
nasty bruise
no,
on
I
his
think it
back.
was it Sheamus? I know somebody
I
got
couldn't
hit.
remember which one. Yeah, it
Um,
was. I
and
thought at first it was Gunther, but then I was like, oh, it could have been Sheamus. I just couldn't remember who got like it, because it was the one where it wasn't gimmicked.
yeah,
Because I know Sheamus got the one where it was gimmicked, where it broke in half when he hit him. So that's why I couldn't remember if it was that one or if it was the other one where he did. Because at one point they like just wrecked Vinci. I forgot his first name on the card. I'm so used
Giovanni.
to him being. Oh, okay. I'm so used to him being Fabian Eichner, so like it throws me off like every
Well,
time whenever
Ludwig
somebody.
Kaiser was somebody else too, wasn't he? When
Yeah,
before,
Marcel Bartel. So like they, and that's what their names were before, and it makes sense why they would change and wouldn't go back on them at one point unless they build it up like a another thing like once they leave Imperium if they ever did. But what's it called? So yeah, good match. I would say like I was surprised that they punked out Liv Morgan though. I mean, not really, kind
that
of,
was my
because I
least
mean
favorite match. I'm not a
yeah,
huge fan of Ronda Rousey, honestly, in WWE. I I've seen her multiple times, and I I felt she was better in her first run. I feel that this one, I don't know. I don't feel she's trying real hard
yeah.
to.
Like I think the main thing too is like I think she's just like so over the crowd, so like it fits with her character right now, knowing that she's like I don't care about people, blah blah blah, playing a heel or whatever. But it's just like I don't know. To me, it just seems kind of it wasted Liv Morgan right now,
But
unless they have
I'm trying to
plans
figure out
for
what they're doing
shit
with
like
Liv.
afterwards.
Like I said, that match was whatever. I kind of guessed, we talked about it while we were watching it, that Ronda Rousey was going to win it, but um, the Liv part afterwards,
Oh yeah,
I
like
would.
how she was smiling the whole time.
Well, she
Yeah,
was smiling, and then afterwards they did that digital exclusive where she was backstage, like in a corner, like just by herself.
yeah.
And then later on in the night, well, we'll talk about it later, but like six individuals had their Twitters blacked out. I think it was like five or six
Yeah,
wrestlers.
I knew at first it was Liv Morgan and Seth, and then
Yeah,
I
but it
think
ended up
they
being
added
T
more
Bar was
people
another
afterwards.
one. Trying to oh, Dolph Ziggler was one. I can't remember who else. I'd have to look at it.
Which I mean, Dolph Ziggler needs something different anyway. So I
I
mean,
put
it
it in the
makes sense
chat
with
back
him.
a while, whatever day it was that it happened,
Yeah,
like a week
but
ago.
but yeah, like so. What's it called? There was like the matches were good, but I wouldn't say like. I think probably the Ronda one was probably my least favorite. Just because I mean the Karrion Cross versus Drew McIntyre one was good too, even mostly because you don't see that many strap matches anymore. So I mean, like it makes it like added a little bit, but I knew that Karrion Cross was going to go over on it. I knew that they were going to have Karrion Cross win because I think this was one of his first matches back, right?
For Karrion Cross,
Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
yeah. So like,
He's like stepped in like for a lot, but
yeah. So and it was funny how like the whole time. I like the way that his entrance was in this one too, because he came out and it was like they did the fall and pray part, but then it was like right as soon as she was starting to say it, it was like she instantly went down, and then all of a sudden his face was right there. So she was like, fall and pray. And then he was like, hey, bro. Like, I just like the way and the new way of like them doing his entrance was. I mean, it wasn't like that much different between the NXT one, but it was just nice knowing that they had it where it was like instantly she was out of frame and that he was fucking there. I thought that was cool. So, and this pay per view seems kind of weird because there was only like 6 matches on the card, and like, I mean, all of them were like the biggest stories that they really had at the time, other than like Roman stuff. But Roman stuff is only going to be like Brock Lesnar shit now. So, oh yeah, Ciampa, yeah. Which I hope that they do something with like him and DIY again. But like, like even if they don't, then it's totally fine.
but
But
yeah, Karrion
yeah,
Cross that match. Yeah, again, I like the fact that like you said earlier, that every match was like an Extreme Rules match. We've had Extreme Rules premium live events or pay per views in the past that they weren't. They had like one or two, almost like the Hell in the Cell pay per view. Like to me, Hell in the Cell pay per view, every match should be a Hell in the Cell match. I don't know why you would call it Hell in the Cell and have one that's
yeah.
just one that's Hell in the
I mean,
Cell.
like it
But
would be like I don't know, like it wouldn't be unsafer for some people, but also at the same time, you could always end up doing matches where it's like the main people that
yeah, but you think
feuded
about like to
and
not
stuff.
that like Extreme Rules only had 6 matches. You could do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, like
and
especially they just give more time to like most of the other matches that are on the card.
well, and like going for I think we talked about Survivor Series is going to be War Games this year, which I think
Which
is
that's gonna be
great
fucking awesome.
considering all the big factions that they've got uh building up, like Bloodline, and then you've got the well, we'll talk
And
about
supposedly they were
the
talking
other
about,
one, but
yeah, like
I mean,
the
Hurt
main
Business is
one that
rumored
I
to start
saw.
up again.
Yeah, the
Um,
only thing that I was seeing like that they were doing was like one was rumored where it was Judgment Day and uh Edge with Rey Mysterio and the OC, because that was another one that they revealed that Gallows and Anderson re-signed with WWE. I'm like, damn, they must have offered them probably about the same amount of money that they did before they fired him, because he and like yeah, Anderson was like very very fucking pissed off when they got rid of him, but understandably so. You had them re-signed to a more lucrative contract, and then you released them like fucking like a month later. So like, of course you would be irritated, but like Vince ain't there anymore, so like they don't have to like do the same thing anymore. So I mean, I think that's essentially why he's re-signing a lot of people back, because I mean, if Swerve wasn't back, or like if he wasn't in AEW right now, same with Keith Lee, I think he would have re-signed them both. If they
well, the
didn't
rumor
re-sign
was Mia
contracts,
Yim. They're interested in bringing her back, and
well, I mean, like you could tell, like whenever Triple H likes certain people. So I'm like, especially like with Keith Lee, it seemed like they were gonna do something with him, and then just never did. Like they did
Well,
the
I think part of
Bearcat
his
shit
problem
and
was
everything
he
else.
got sick or something. And I think, I honestly think Vince near the end, he was more worried about paying people to be on the shelf because it was like, Paige was a good example, or Soraya, right? Is that what I've read is that WWE offered her more money than AEW did.
Oh, what to say or something or what?
Or to come back, but she was going to have a GM role, and they never inquired into her being cleared to wrestle. Um, but the second part of it was that AEW allowed her to, or is allowing her to do all of her other shit. So like the
Oh
Twitch
yeah,
and all
like her
that
Twitch
stuff.
stuff and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the driving factor, I think. Yeah, because she probably makes more money doing that
Oh
than she
yeah.
does
Yeah.
actually wrestling.
Yeah, because Twitch dudes like fucking Ronnie Radke right now, especially like probably makes a killing in that shit. Which I could talk about the latest Falling Reverse stuff, but like I can't wait until our cruise where we actually go and see them live. That's gonna be
Well,
fun.
it'll be
But
interesting. I know she'll be wrestling, but it'll be interesting if she shows up on the cruise.
yeah,
Um,
you would think so. You know
you would think
like
with him being there
yeah.
that long, but she might be, traveling with
If anything,
AEW though.
or it's like she'll be traveling with them, or like she won't show herself like on the cruise, kind of like when we did the Jericho cruise in a way. But
Well, yeah, but
like,
we saw Jericho more than I thought we would. The one we
yeah,
didn't
oh
see
yeah,
was Angle. Kurt Angle was the one we never
yeah,
saw.
and like Kurt Angle, we only saw when we met him, and that's literally that, and like the podcast that we joined. That was really the only times that we saw him. But what's it called? So yeah, so pretty much Karrion Kross was cool. I liked his character. I wouldn't say that he's more of my favorite than like Wyatt. I mean, I've been like if I was a wrestler, I'd probably be like more like Wyatt, like a kind of crazy dude. It's been like what's it called? That's like more of my stuff. But like I like how Karrion Kross is like TikTok, bitch. Your fucking time's up. I'm gonna
Well,
beat that
that's
ass.
when we were watching it. That's what I said. It's a beautiful gimmick because literally he tells the people, "Your time's up." Like, and he does it in a symbolic way. He doesn't even have to say anything. Just,
Yeah.
Scarlett will come out and just
He
put the
doesn't even have
hourglass
to
down.
be there. Yeah, he doesn't even have to be there. He could just have her walk up, be like
And
TikTok, bitch, and
yeah,
just
and that's
walk
what
away.
killed me when they brought him up from NXT to the main roster. It's like they scrapped that completely.
Yeah, and then
And
gave
it's
him a
like
Roman gladiator thing. And I was like, what?
why the hell would you do that? He had a perfect gimmick, and this is just showing it because he went right back to it basically, and
Yep, didn't stop. So yeah, like so. Okay, so then there was Bianca Belair and Bailey, which I kind of figured that Bailey was still going to lose because I think if anything, they might be like if anything, I would think that Bianca is probably going to hold it to at least Royal Rumble.
well, we've talked
But,
about that. I think she's going to lose it to Charlotte.
oh yeah, oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I can totally see that happening because
I
like
mean, uh,
I thought it was going to be Liv that was going to take it, but I could see that fucking happening.
well, I
Like
mean,
Charlotte comes instantly
that's what
back and
always
then takes it.
happens. Charlotte
Yeah,
takes a year off and then comes back right away and wins a title. I don't understand the logic with it. I really don't. But obviously, the WWE has stuff for Charlotte. I don't get it because I don't think she's the best wrestler by far in WWE. I don't even think she's the best talker. So when it drives me nuts when she cuts a promo, she talks so damn slow that it's annoying. Like even when she would do the woos, they were slow. It would be like
oh yeah,
woo. It's like
yeah.
what?
She couldn't do it
It's
right. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so it's like
But I mean, like, I do the woo, but I don't sound right for it. But I do it kind of like on purpose that way.
No, but but
still,
her
like
whole
her doing
promo
that shit,
setting,
yeah.
when she talks, she just talks slow. If you go back and look at, at every one of the promos she's cut, they're not smooth. And Becky Lynch and I've always noticed this, when she talks, she licks her lips a lot, and like something stuck in her teeth.
And that's why I
Um,
say, like, Bianca actually has like good promo skills because she says some shit that just like it just feels like real from her, like where it's not like a character, like that's who she is
oh, I
type of thing.
agree,
And
and
I think that's why it works for her, is because
and
I think
her
her
wrestling
EST
skills
shit is like
are
her.
one of the better ones, but she does some stuff that annoy me in the ring too, like when she slaps her ass. It's like I don't really understand how that has anything to do with wrestling, but um,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we used to watch a dude named Rikishi where he'd slam his ass into
well,
somebody's face.
yeah, but I mean, I wasn't a huge
But
fan of
yeah, I feel you.
Rikishi,
Yeah.
but they have hard-ons for his whole family, it seems like too. So I don't know.
Yeah. So what's it called? They did good things in
But
this, and
Bailey,
it's
I'm not a
like,
fan of. I never have been. I mean, so
see, I mean, I like Bailey though. I mean, like, I think she's a good wrestler. I wouldn't say that she's great at promos. I mean, she could be unlikable,
she's
right?
not
Like,
great at promos,
especially
but I would say
her
I feel that her
role model
promo skills
stuff.
are
But
better than her wrestling skills.
mm, yeah, I could see that. I mean, she plays a better heel than she does. Yeah, I could get that. Which I understand that anyway. I mean, I like what she's doing with damage control though, but like the thing
Oh no, I
is,
mean, I totally get the gimmick that they've got her on. I'm just saying that I just don't feel like when she gets in the ring with somebody, it's not my favorite match to watch. It
yeah.
never is.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I agree with that. Like there isn't like one match that Bailey's done, all except for the
and I
Iron
think
Man
her
match with
best
her and
matches
Sasha.
have been with great wrestlers. It's almost
Yeah,
like
like her
MJF
with
to me,
Sasha, yeah.
because Sasha carries her. That's why the matches are so good with Sasha. But I don't know if there's many Sasha Banks matches that have been bad. I mean, that's why I said I feel she's and unfortunately, she's not in WWE, and I don't know if she ever will be. There's rumors that she'll be coming back, but I would have thought that would have happened
I don't
already.
know. I saw something the other day where it was looking like she was going to go against Kairi Sane in New Japan, and Kairi Sane was like, "What?" So it could have been like trying to fuck with people or something.
Yeah, I just saw
But I
that
don't know.
earlier myself.
Yeah,
But still, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that she would have been, her and Naomi both. I mean, the one that makes sense to be in the bloodline if you brought her back would be Naomi. I mean, if you want to have a female involved in that group, because she is
well,
family,
that's what I'm saying. We've
technically.
talked about this like a lot too, but like that's why I think that knowing that I'm digressing into the next match anyway, but like Finn Balor versus Edge, I think Judgment Day should use more people that they ain't using right now and make a giant stable out of it. I like what they're doing with Dominic, kind of like, especially how Ray's like, I don't want to beat up my kid, which eventually it's going to lead to him beating up his kid.
Well, I don't know if it
But
will, since they switched him over to SmackDown, though.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Because, I
so
mean,
like,
that basically separates them and kind of gets
oh,
them out
true
of
that.
having to
Yeah,
do it. I mean, but I think Rhea Ripley's in the best group she could be in. She's made for the Judgment Day, and I think Damian Priest is too. I don't really see Finn Balor as being.
oh yeah, that's what it was. That's what I saw for War Games. I think it was Judgment Day with Alpha Academy, and then going against the OC and Edge and Ray, I think was what I saw. I don't know if that's what it's going to be, but
Well, yeah, and I mean,
this match was kind of boring to me.
it wasn't. It
Like,
was 30 minutes long. I mean, it's like
yeah, like
this.
what's it called? They were doing a lot of rest holds and shit like that. And it was mostly like Finn Balor beating up Edge for most of it, all
Well, and
except
then
for
the
like
way
the
they ended
beginning.
it was to do a concerto on his wife, Beth Phoenix. So she had to get
Yeah,
involved for him to end it. It's like, okay, I understand you don't want Edge to look weak, and you wanted Edge to
you don't
lose
want
it.
Edge to look weak, and then you also didn't want Judgment Day to lose the match, which that's understandable. But also at the same time, it's like that's why they should have ended this stuff. Like that's why I thought it was kind of weird that they were doing the I Quit match anyway, because I thought when they did the ankle thing with Edge, where they were doing the stomp on the leg with Dominic and all that, I thought that was like telling a story for like him to be away for a bit again. Like
Oh
that's what
yeah,
I thought what they were doing, and then they're like, "I quit match." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I'm like I like Finn Balor's mask and too. I'm like I don't know, and I liked his new entrance too. I liked how it was like a Judgment Day version of like his regular theme. I thought that was cool.
well yeah,
But
but I
like
mean,
I don't know
I
how you
just
could see out of that fucking mask though.
yeah, I mean, but I mean, I don't know if I had to see this match, and Finn Balor, he's not that promo he cut on freaking Raw was horrible.
Oh, what talking about like Edge, like about saying that he would put him out or something?
Well, yeah, it was just bad. You'd have to go back and watch the promo he cut. I just didn't care for it. He's not that great on the mic.
Yeah,
I feel the best
like
talker in that group is Damian Priest. I mean, honestly, when he gets on the mic, he's actually way better than I thought he was or
oh
would be.
yeah, what did I call Damian Priest last month too? It was like it was like when we were watching it. Oh yeah, I was like calling him Rico Suave.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, why does he look like Rico Suave right now? And most people ain't gonna get that fucking reference.
Well, yeah,
But
unless you're as old as
WWE,
we are, you wouldn't
yeah,
know. Yeah.
exactly. But like, what's it called? Just pop it into Google. I'm sure you'll be able to find out, and then you could comment at us and be like, "Oh shit, he does look like that dude." But what's it called? So pretty much like that's what I was saying. It was unnecessary to me, and like they had Ray and stuff. That's why I was wondering if like because there was rumors that Bray was going to show up throughout the whole pay-per-view, so we were unsure when it was going to happen. I was like, oh well, it could do during the Judgment Day one, but then I was thinking that it was going to happen during Seth and Matt Riddle, and then we were like, how would they put it? So then like when there was like massively outnumbered, it was like Edge and Ray, and then Beth Phoenix came out, so you kind of figured like how the ending was going to be because they were still like way outnumbered. But and so like I thought Bray was going to come out, and like it was a nice idea to think that, or like somebody else was going to come out. Like shit, even if they wanted to, and then I think they had the OC come out on Raw.
Yeah,
Like
they did.
it would have probably made better sense if they would have had AJ come out and then do stuff, and then have them come out on the pay per view. But I mean, also at the same time, you don't know if like if it was just a last minute thing, like they signed him and it's just gone, and that was the closest time that they could have him show up.
Yeah, I
Or
also think that the networks have a lot more pull than we think
yeah, well,
because
I mean that's the only thing that would make sense
yeah, I mean
because some of the
because
stuff.
they probably say, well, I want them to be revealed at such and such. I know you re-sign them, but I want them to show up here. So. But that was funny because Mondays was the DX reunion too. So
But yeah, so we were also wondering if he was going to show up for that and all sorts of stuff. Like we were trying to like, like I'm sure that we weren't the only ones too. So essentially, like we were trying to figure out if they were going to do something with Seth during the fight pit match,
the
and I
fight
think
pitch
this,
match.
yeah, right. But what's it called? This is the first one that I saw of the fight pit. I forgot that they had it on NXT in the first place. So, what's it called? So, when I finally watched it, I was like, oh, it's not that bad of a match. I
Yeah,
mean,
let me
like,
just
if
tell you
any,
that Daniel Cormier didn't need to
yeah,
be in this match for one,
yeah,
but on the same time, I thought it was funny. I think on Twitter, people were roasting him, saying he looked like Philip Winslow.
Well, I mean, he did gain a lot of weight
Yeah, I
after
mean,
he
so,
stopped.
which I thought was actually hilarious because he did. I think I may have said that during the pay per view as he looked like the dude from Family Matters, but um, I couldn't remember the dude's name. But I looked
It's just kind of
afterwards
fun.
and he was being roasted for the weight gain.
Well, I'm not surprised because they were doing stuff where it was like it seemed like they wanted him to like get into it with both guys, like that's the story. But then it was just like weird how they were like, "You come down here now," like when they were up on the top of the cage. Don't even get involved. If they're up at the top of the cage, they know what they're doing. Shut up. Leave it be. That's the main thing that
But
was
to act
killing
like
me.
that
I
dude
hate
knows
when
what
they
a
do
fight
that
pit
shit.
match is. He didn't fight
Yeah, I
that
know
shit in the
exactly. That's what I'm
UFC.
saying. Yeah,
So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just kind of dumb. Like
would have
I
been
don't think
different
they
if they
really
fought in
needed them in
an
there.
octagon. That, that would
Yeah,
have made
yeah,
sense. But to have him in a fight pit match because he's an MMA guy, it just didn't. It was stupid. It was just to have another guy on there.
yeah.
Um,
Especially to get somebody to be like, "Oh shit, Daniel Cormier is going to be in this match,"
and
or
and
like,
like with this, you knew Matt Riddle was going to win. I mean, the
"Oh
match
yeah,"
just
they
because
were kind of building it up because Riddle lost the last match, so you knew that probably it was going to be the end of the feud
But
when
yeah, I
they
mean, this
like
was
just finished it.
the only other match that they've had this way. Matt Riddle was in, so it's like, well, who do you think's going to win it?
Yeah.
So
So like it made sense why like he won, but like I was wondering if like Bray was gonna have anything to do with it, but no, it was like legit. Like they were like, oh well, we ended that match, and then go straight into Bray. Riddle starts walking away, then all the lights cut out, and
yeah,
then
which
they
is
show
brilliant,
like
actually, what he's doing and what I hear is rumored. But like his, if you see the tie-in, like his new entrance is a homage to Luke Harper or to Brody Lee. I don't know if you remember
well, I
his.
heard that when he was going through the door, like there was like the blue light around Brody Lee at one point during like
Well,
one
do
of
you
his
remember in
promos in
AEW
AEW.
when Brody Lee would come out, there was a blue light behind him when he would. So so it's like an homage to him. And then there's rumors there's going to be a dude named Uncle Harper in his faction when that all comes to be. But what I was getting at earlier was the networks having say is look how many guys or wrestlers, the top wrestlers, are on SmackDown because Bray Wyatt's been assigned to SmackDown. So they've got Roman, they've got Brock, they've got uh, Strowman, they've got Bray Wyatt. I mean, who the hell does? And they've got Drew McIntyre. Who does Raw have? I mean, when you,
Yeah, they have like no one
I mean, so it's like
practically.
they got Seth Rollins, I think, and Matt Riddle. But even Karrion Cross is on SmackDown. Sheamus is on
Oh,
SmackDown.
Karrion
Imperium's on
Cross isn't.
SmackDown.
What the damn hell? Yeah, they
Uh,
don't have nothing on Raw.
I mean,
Damn.
well, they could say Finn Balor and Edge, I guess, is.
But
But
like, still, they don't have like really any titles. Oh, I think Miz is on Raw,
yeah,
ain't
but
he?
Miz is like I would call him a mid card guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely have always thought of him as a mid card guy, but like, it was nice knowing that he actually won the title at one point. But
Well, yeah, it's funny how many
like,
titles he's actually won, and he's the only one I think
yeah.
that's won what all of them twice or something. It's
Well, now him and Seth are the same. Like,
yeah,
I
but
think
it's
Seth
unreal that
got the
out
same
of
thing
all the
too.
guys, Miz is up there like that. You wouldn't
Yep.
think that he would be, but
Yeah,
anyhow,
like that. That's the main thing. So, like the entrance for it looks like it's like an homage to most of his characters in the WWE. Really.
well, yeah, like
So,
we were
like
talking about
they
that,
were
like
cutting to like Husky hair or like Huskus and all the dudes from Firefly Funhouse, but they had like actual like outfits made up like the Abby the Witch and all them. They had like actual like stuff in there, and there's like a huge amount of like small details and everything. Like people have been like looking up everything for it. So, like, if anything, I hope he feuds with Roman. Right out the gate, hopefully he feuds with Roman, takes the damn title off of him, because that's like I was talking about Cody being like one of the main ones, but like definitely Bray would destroy the bloodline, especially if he got like have to be like all he would need to do is get Braun, then Cross, Karen Cross, Dexter Loomis, like all the dudes that they were rumored. If he had all those guys in the group, like he would just destroy the bloodline. It wouldn't even be like, especially Braun Strowman. Just imagine Braun Strowman doing something with like Roman, and then he turns around and just stares at Roman, and then he like beats the crap out of him, and then Wyatt comes out. I think that's what they're kind of trying to do. I think they're trying like slow burn
it
stuff.
could be all the crazy mother effers.
Yeah,
Like
that's why they were saying that Aleister Black. They were talking to him because they wanted to have him linked with Wyatt, and I'm like, yeah, that would have definitely fucking worked. Definitely fucking worked. But like, I guess he's staying with AEW so far as everyone knows. I mean, you never know. They could have paid him out of this contract, and then he show up at Raw one day.
well,
You
yeah,
know
I
what I'm
mean, we
saying?
don't truly know until he shows up back on
Yep,
AEW at one point. I
exactly.
know,
So like,
Legado El Fan is it Legado El
Legado
Fantasma?
del Fantasma. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed up on SmackDown, and Zelina's their like
So
manager, I guess.
yeah,
So
which is
instead of,
totally cool.
well, I guess the one that was in NXT was supposed to come up, but they scrapped that at the last minute and made Zelina the new, what was her name?
Oh, I
Elektra, I
don't even
think, in
know who.
NXT.
Yeah, I don't even know who the person was. Yeah, like
But anyway,
obviously
so
didn't pay attention
that's
to
one of
her
the
all that
other
much.
updates that happened in SmackDown. But I mean, there wasn't a whole hell of a lot of fallout from the premium live event, honestly. This week, I expected more. The promo that Bray cut was interesting.
Yeah, mostly because it sounded like he was being himself, and then it cut straight to like Bray Wyatt himself because the masks look cool. I kind of want him to do the Fiend stuff because I like the Fiend face and everything. But like, I that's one thing I like about Bray Wyatt though. He never keeps anything the same. He always
But I
constantly
almost hope
changes
he
shit.
does a uh like a Mick Foley type gimmick where he
I
has
mean, he
six
totally
different
could.
guys. Where
The way that he built it, like just off of the promo alone, it set it up like it was like him dealing with all his psyches type
yeah,
of
like
thing.
one of them is Huskus, and like all the guys are him. That's what I hope they do with it. Is like how Foley had the three
Three faces
faces
of
of
Foley,
Foley.
but it's more like six faces of
Yeah, the
Wyatt.
Wyatt Six. I mean, his damn Twitter
Yeah,
handle is called Wyatt Six, for crying out loud. So
yeah, he called that for like a while too, because I think that was like his thing before he was even in WWE again.
yeah, but that's
But
what I mean. So it seems more plausible that it would all be him, but we'll see. I mean, they just started. So he's cut a promo. That's pretty much all he's done. So,
yep. So, what's it called? I think the next
but
pay per view is
I
Crown
will
Jewel,
say
right?
this: the pop he got at Extreme Rules was the loudest one I've ever heard, and
Yeah, like
where
I
you
mean,
can't
probably.
pick up. Well, you couldn't pick up Michael Cole talking. It was that loud in the arena. So there were a lot of people commenting on that on Twitter that it's got to be loud because those mics are front facing. So if you can't pick up the person right in front of you, it's loud as hell in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
So, what's it called? Um, yeah, I'm happy knowing that he's back, and so Extreme Rules is at the beginning of the month or something, right? And then it's like, or like, I think beginning of November, and then like,
you mean Crown
Survivor
Jewel?
Series, or yeah, that's what I meant. What did I
Yeah,
say?
you said Extreme Rules. That's what we're talking
Oh,
about right
okay,
now.
yeah. I
Yeah,
meant
we
Crown
got
Jewel.
Crown Jewel next month, and then we've got I think it's Full Gear, isn't it? in November.
Oh, Full Gear. Oh shit. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, November
Oh
5th is
shit.
Crown Jewel, and then AEW Full Gear is
I wonder what they're even doing with Full Gear now. I don't even know what they're
November
setting up.
19th.
All I know is Scissor Me Daddy Ass.
It's November. Yeah, it's November 19th.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So it'll probably be what, like Crown Jewel first, and then it'll go straight to
Yeah,
Full
we're not
Gear.
going to combine them that month. They're too far apart, so we'll just do two of them.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I would say
So,
do two of them in November.
yep. So for what's it called? Thank you for joining us for as far as you've made it.
Yeah, and
So
check out our
check out our
website.
website, and like we're starting to do all sorts of stuff like game reviews and music reviews and all sorts of stuff that's specifically on the website. So, and like you could get all the podcasts and all that stuff that we're doing specifically on the website. And that's
Yep, and
like
all
the
our
links and
YouTube
everything over there.
channel stuff, and
Yeah.
we've got merch out there too. Check out our T-shirts.
Yeah, baby. So thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you guys in the next episode.
All right, peace out.
Peace.